Hi, I'm Lauren at Journey to Calm, and today I'm going to be talking about my journey with PMDD, which is some premenstrual dysphoric disorder. I always get tongue-tied saying that. So back in 2018, very early on in 2018, I suffered a nervous breakdown, which was triggered by a change in my hormones. I am currently perimenopausal, which means it's basically when you're going through the menopause. So if you've gone through the menopause, then you're just sort of in menopause, but going through it is actually called perimenopausal, and it can last a long time. So I've always struggled with my hormones. I've always had an element of PMS, but this really just took it to the next level. And to begin with, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't know it was my hormones. I was just shaking and my nerves were in tatters. I actually thought I had the flu to begin with, because it was nothing to do with sort of life around me at the time. I wasn't depressed or anything like that. It was just like a switch, and my body just went from, well, I've got a lot of health problems anyway, but it went from managing to just, my world fell apart. So I tried various different treatments. I originally went on an SSRI called sertraline, and I'm still on that now. So that is an anti-anxiety medication, which it did help to a point. It also is quite addictive and has its own side effects. So if you change your dose, if you get side effects, you may well find that you feel horrendous and dizzy and blah, which I feel if I change my dose, I've been on this dose for quite a long time now and my body's used to it. So I have been on that. Also, I tried going on the pill, but I get migraines, aura migraines. So if you have visual disturbances like that when you have migraines, then you can't go on the combined pill. So that was out. I'm on progesterone only pill at the moment, which has, honestly, I don't know if it's helped, but I'm suffering severely with PMDD still, and I have been quite desperate. And I should give a trigger warning actually, because I will be talking about sort of quite in-depth mental health problems. So if you think anything might be triggering, then you might want to turn off now. I'll just give you a second to leave if you think it might impact you. So yeah, basically when I am at that time of the month, so it'll be just before or as I'm sort of starting to ovulate, and then I'll be fine then for a bit, and then just before my period starts, I get another phase of intense, I can feel the chemicals like changing in my body at that time. It's like, I feel like it's poisoning me. It's really horrible, and honestly the only way I've managed to get through it, aside from supportive family and stuff, is a mindfulness, really. And mindfulness can do so much, but unfortunately it can't fix everything, and that's just the reality. It has helped me a lot, but ultimately I have chemical problems going on in my body, and the only thing I haven't tried is getting all my bits out. So I saw a gynecologist yesterday, and he has agreed to refer me for a full hysterectomy with, and let me read out what it's called, bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy. Basically, it's a full hysterectomy with also your ovaries out and your fallopian tubes. So this is what I've been referred for. Now, in the UK, on the NHS, there is a big crisis right now. There's not enough funding, so he's had to basically apply for funding for me to have this done. He doesn't think that they will agree to all of it. He thinks they will just agree to have my ovaries out with my fallopian tubes, I believe. So, which isn't enough, because then you have to have add back of HRT and also progesterone as well. Progesterone is, as far as I've been told by the gynae, he said that progesterone is the problem hormone, and having talked to a lot of people who have PMDD in some amazing support groups, which thank goodness for those. I've had lots of advice on there, and people have said that that just doesn't really work, because you've still got the progesterone add back from not having your uterus out as well. So I might have a bit of a fight on my hands to get the full operation I need. Privately, it's £7,000. So yeah, that's it's just too much money. I mean, who can afford that at the end of the day? So I don't have a spare £7,000 lying around, so I'm going to be probably having to appeal. I mean, they may come back and say, yes, here's your funding, but he didn't sound very hopeful, the gynecologist, so we'll see. I might have a battle ahead of me. However, coming out of that appointment, he actually listened to me, and I've got hope now that things will change. And for anybody else going through PMDD, it is so the symptoms can be horrendous for all sorts of things. So if you've got heavy bleeding, you can be anemic, which I am at the minute. So I'm sleeping lots, and I get sickness, lack of appetite, sort of my weight plummets at the time of the month because I feel sick, I can't eat, disturbs your sleep, hideous anxiety, and also the trigger warning was for this talk, but I was going to say about suicidal thoughts, because it is a real thing. And I'm sure I read a statistic, I'll have to check this, that women in their 50s, it's like the highest age bracket for suicides in women, and that is generally your menopausal sort of age. I am not 50, but my family has a history of early menopause, which is what I've got the joy of going through at the moment, and they last a long time as well. So yeah, my family history is like 10 years of menopause, and I can't do another 10 years of what I've been having to go through every month. So yeah, it's actually mistaken quite a bit for bipolar, because you can be fine and then all of a sudden you'll be, and then you'll be up again and you'll be down again. And if you are like that, then, and even maybe if you've been diagnosed with bipolar, maybe just log your monthly cycle and see if there is a pattern, because it's possible that it could be due to hormones. So yeah, I mean, I came out of the appointment relieved yesterday because he listened to me and he agreed. There are other ways of treating it. They prefer you to go on, now bear with me while I read what this is, GnRH analogues, which basically it kind of mimics the menopause. So that's an implant that lasts for 3 months, I believe. but with various other health problems I've got, I can't have that. So that's not an option for me. And yeah, there are other options as well. They recommend trying CBT, which cognitive behavioural therapy can be brilliant and really helpful. But for myself, we agreed, me and the consultant, that I'm already doing a lot of those things. I've got a nutritionist who's helping me with my food and the diet and all those sorts of things to help lifestyle wise, and that's not, that is not enough to help me. So I need it all out. And I have heard that if you get it all out, you get a saggy bum and a big belly. So I have got all of that to look forward to. But I'll take it. Do you know what? I would absolutely take it. And I am terrified for the operation, but also I'm really excited because I feel like it can give me my life back. The last 5 years have been so incredibly hard. And yeah, when people say things like, often men, not trying to stereotype here, but if you're a bit grumpy or something, we'll say, oh, it must be time of the month. That drives me nuts because I've got no idea. I actually don't really get very grumpy. My husband might disagree, but some months I get a bit grumpy, but it's not really, that's not how it affects me really. It's just the anxiety element for me. So I'm going to leave it there for today. I hope that maybe if you're going through similar things, that it kind of resonates with you and you find it kind of helpful, even if it's just from the point of view of hearing somebody else who is in a similar boat to you. And yeah, I'm still on my journey and my mindfulness stuff really helps me. Give it a try. I mean, mainly when I'm going through those particularly rough days and I'm laying in the bed and I'm literally shaking because my nerves are so bad, those days I tell myself that if I take slow deep breaths, it will release dopamine, which does calm down your system, and I try and counter that chemical reaction that is going on and making me feel crazy. So that is helpful. And also I tell myself that it won't last forever because I do get ups and downs. I know what it is, it's cyclical, and I just try and tell myself, right, this moment is not very nice, but it won't last forever, and there will be good moments that come. And there will be good moments that come. If you're going through the same thing, just try and focus on that and help you through. But also equally as importantly, if not more, talk to somebody, because that just makes such a difference to talk to somebody and find a medical professional who believes you and listens to you and respects you. Most importantly, respects you and the decisions that you want to make about your own body. I found an amazing specialist yesterday who he actually specialises in oncology, gynecology rather than PMDD side of things. And I looked him up beforehand and I thought, oh, I don't know if he's gonna understand what I'm going through and why I want the operation. And he was so understanding and so, yeah, he was quite on my wavelength. He was talking a bit about mindfulness and stuff as well. So yeah, he was good. If you find the right people to help you, then you can really thrive, I guess, and get better. But I will put some links to some support on the end of this video, which hopefully will help you to reach out if you need to. And yeah, thanks for getting this far. It's been quite a long video, I think, but I just wanted to tell people where I'm at and what I have been going through. I've wanted to talk about it for quite a long time, but honestly, it's been quite distressing and difficult to talk about. I feel like now I've got the hope of having the operation, it's made it a little bit easier for me to talk about. So I hope it's helped you as well, and have a good day.